anyway, but I'd love to catch Lawson Scarborough before he gets off to school, Mike, this morning, and just talk about those. Probably the day of maybe the biggest day in his high school experience, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine hitting 2 home runs in a game is a pretty big deal, especially against Enterprise, a big rival.
Hey, all I heard coming in here was Lawson Scarborough. I don't put you on hold, son. I'll bring you back, man. I'll bring you back when I can. Let's see if we can pick up Lawson Scarborough this morning. 5, 6, 6. Oh, excuse me, I messed up. Let me see if I can do it again. 6, 7, 0, 1, 6, 3, 4. Let's hope that we can get him.
The number you have entered has not been
Oh
recognized.
boy, let's see here. Well, it happens all the time when you're as good as I am on this phone. I would love to be able to. No, I see my problem. Yeah, no, here it is.
Dialed has not.
This girl will come back at you in a hurry. Here we go. Surely he's sleeping in this morning after playing so late last night. Let's see if this will get through to us. Maybe it will. Of course, Lawson having a good one. We're going to try it one more time. They say it's the number. Let's see what the deal is. And hopefully, hope that maybe we can get through. If not, I've got the wrong number. I could have the wrong number. Let's see. Well, can't pick up Lawson. Lawson, if you're out there, give us a ring this morning. We'd love to talk to you. Also, I'd love to talk to my good buddy Griff McCreary. Good morning. How you doing? Good morning. How you doing?
Hey.
Mike Amos calling in from points unknown this morning, and of course,
I'm in Great Beach, Florida, man. That's where I live now.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. Of course, we appreciate you calling in. Want to mention Charles Henderson High School's golf team was victorious recently. Of course, the Trojans went up against Enterprise, Andalusia, Opp, and Kinston. And of course, the Trojans fired a .326, good enough for third place. And of course, Griff McCreary came back and still shot 71 for the low round. He shot 68 the other day. So Braxton Barron shot 76 for the Trojans, while Grant Baker broke 90 and with an 89, and Brandon Presswood shot 90, and Cody Paramore shot 94. And of course, Andalusia's Adam Kilpatrick shot 70, and they won the match. The golf team will compete in a match in Northview on March the 19th. But good to see these kids out there playing good golf. And of course, I watch Griff play ever since he was a kid, and he's still a young man. But he's really playing excellent golf.
Well, the SEC basketball tournament yesterday, we had Auburn play a tough game against Missouri, but ended up winning by 10 points. So Auburn advances, and then Alabama was down by 14 at the half, looking like their season was over, and somehow, some way, they came back and beat Ole Miss.
Came back
2 to 57 last night.
Oh boy.
Mack led the way for Alabama with 21 points, and Alabama found a way to play one more day. Of course, A.B. Johnson, a lot of people think his job's on the line if they don't make the NCAA tournament.
You never can't tell. He might have saved it.
What they're going to do now is just beat Kentucky, which, actually Alabama did at home earlier this season, but it'll be extremely tough to beat Kentucky tonight in Nashville in the SEC tournament. Kentucky will probably have about 12 to 14,000 fans, and Alabama might have 1,000 fans. So,
where's that game being played at? Kentucky?
Yeah, I would imagine Big Blue and Kentucky will win that game tonight.
Well, they buy all the tickets out wherever they are, and of course they'll be playing good at the same time. But
Alabama, I will say, though, showed some fight last night. I mean, when you're down by 16 points and you come back and beat an Ole Miss team that's going to the NCAA tournament, you got to be happy for Coach Avery Johnson that he got these guys to win at least one game. Of course, Auburn's looking like a team that's playing at their best basketball right now. They're 23-9 now, and I really think Auburn can do some stuff in the NCAA tournament. At least make the Sweet 16, I think.
No question about it. Of course,
it comes down to seeding more than anything, though.
Yeah. Of course, back to the Lady Trojans, they dropped one in overtime. They got outscored 18-5 in overtime. That's pretty bad, isn't it? To make it put it
in overtime, you mean extra innings?
In overtime basketball, Troy's women were outscored by South Alabama.
Troy's women got beat by South Alabama. Wow, I didn't realize that. So their season's over.
And in fact, final score was 87-74, and of course it was game went into overtime.
It's a shocking loss.
It sure is, and of course, but South Alabama was good. They were 23-9. Troy finishes 22-11, and of course.
No, they weren't 22-11. They're 22-7 going into that game. That's the best record.
Oh, excuse me. You're right. That's right.
In a regular season,
they finished 22-8. They finished 22-8, and it was the largest overtime advantage that Troy had ever lost by, and of course, bad time to do it.
Yeah, it says struggled throughout the game, shooting just 34%. And scored just 16 points in the final 15 minutes of the game. South Alabama shot 42.9%.
You mamas out there.
In the overtime period.
You mamas out there, ladies and gentlemen, Griff McCrary and Braxton Barron and Cody Paramore have their picture in the messenger today. So good opportunity to go buy a bunch of messengers and send them out to all your friends. Of course, they're playing good, lost to a very good Andalusia team, but this Troy team's playing real good. And as I mentioned, the next match is on March the 21st, and have matches on April 11th, April 18th, and April 25th. Of course,
Alabama, that's amazing how good they are. I mean, are playing right now, men and women. The men last night, South Alabama beat a really good Louisiana Lafayette team in the Sun Belt tournament. So they've already won 2 games, and they're going to be playing in the third round of the Sun Belt tournament. So South Alabama's basketball is really improving right now. And
it was the same basketball team that Troy beat 3 times last year. Did you remember that?
Yeah, so South Alabama with a new coach, of course their coach came over from Nicholls State, has really turned that program around. This is the most wins they've had since 2009, 17 wins. And you're talking about a proud basketball program in South Alabama who's been to the NCAA tournament many times.
Yeah.
But that just tells you what a new coach can do. They bring in a new coach and new philosophy and a guy that gets the fans involved and, gets the community involved. And, I read an article yesterday on Facebook. Coach Cunningham posted, thank you to Troy goodbye on Facebook and talked about, his experience in Troy and how he came in. They had, tons of senior players and didn't have a whole lot to work with and how he knew it was going to take a long time to build the program. And you're right, how upset he was that he had 2 years left on his contract.
2 years left. They bought him out. Troy bought a coach out.
It's a situation where the only thing he failed to mention is they probably had one of the worst home records in basketball in 6 years of any coach ever at Troy.
Yeah.
They just could not win home games.
Yeah.
And they were good on the road.
They were good when you
horrible at home.
Yeah. They were a team that if you didn't expect them to be good, they were good. And they, like you said, they won some big games.
How many games do you think they lost at home in the last 6 years? I mean, it's unbelievable how poor they played at Troy.
Do you know that? Do you know that record?
I don't know that record, but I just know from just watching the games and keeping up with the games, how many they just lost at home. I mean, it's got to be a huge.
Again, the thing that bothers me is
it's got to be a huge losing record at home compared to road wins.
I don't know what his buyout clause is, but Troy's not in the. We don't make enough money to buy coaches out.
Academically, he was wanting to mention, how all his players graduated and how they had, one of the highest GPAs in Sun Belt play for us basketball and stuff like that. And then he talks about the loss of Jordan Bernardo. I mean, why in the world can we not find out what really happened with Jordan Bernardo? I mean, he was mentioning a loss and this and that. Why can't we find out why he was suspended?
It was a
I'm trying to figure out because, I mean, if a guy, what you said would have been Sun Belt Player of the Year, and all Sun Belt, one of the top players ever played in Troy history, why did he miss 10 games? Why can't we not find that out? That's just baffling to me.
When we get behind closed doors.
I mean, seriously.
You know that song?
You want to know what happened with one of the greatest players ever to play in Troy?
Yeah, in fact, he could have, if he had kept his act straight, and I don't know what it was, and I'm not going to mention it, or I've got some guesses I could make, but he had a chance to go play in the NBA. He would have been Troy's first ever NBA player.
NBA executives and scouts are not going to like whatever happened. He was suspended. That's not going to help him get to the NBA any quicker.
No question about it.
But if you got talent, so he might get on the NBA G League.
He reminded me of an Adrian Dantley. You probably have never heard of Adrian Dantley. Have you ever heard of him?
I remember hearing him. He played at Notre Dame. He played for the Detroit Pistons.
How about a Mule King? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, he played at Alabama.
He reminded me a lot of those guys, inside players.
What he did this year, though, that I think will get him to the next level. I don't know if he'll get him to the NBA, but it'll get him making $1 million playing in Europe. Is he can really shoot the three this year.
Yeah. He's a great player. I mean, I don't think anybody would doubt it. And he was the difference in winning and losing, evidently. I mean,
obviously, that's what Coach Cunningham said. But, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, why can't we find out why he was suspended?
Well, it might not be in our business. Hey, it might not be in our business. Have you has anybody ever used that term?
I know, but, I mean, wouldn't you want to know if you're a Troy supporter why this happened? And, the guy loses his job. Probably because of Bernardo being suspended. It's kind of a big deal.
I agree with you.
No, man. I think the fans and the public should know when something like this happens. Why the best player on the team misses 10 games in conference.
And another thing, I sort of wish that would have been in consideration. And maybe give this bunch one more chance. I love this staff. It's some of the best.
You're going to have tons of guys transfer out. You're going to have tons of guys leave the program. New coach is going to come in. I mean, you're seeing it at Troy. Coach Lindsey, I mean, Tron Folsom, the best player on defense, leads the team in tackles 2 straight years. He's leaving. Marcus Jones, the best, corner we've had probably ever as a freshman All-American kickoff return specialist. Great player on Enterprise. He's leaving.
And of course, I just
guys have got to buy in to these coaches.
I can't help but believe that Jones is going to West Virginia. And rightfully so, if that's what he wants to do, he'll go to West Virginia, sit out a year, then he'll have 2 years of eligibility. What Coach?
That is a long drive from Enterprise, Alabama to Morgantown, West Virginia. His family knows how long that's going to be. Exactly,
but somehow I don't know. Somehow they get these plane tickets. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. But and of course, Coach Brown.
I was going to mention Vivian Stringer, the legendary coach at Rutgers, is missing the conference tournament and probably the NCAA tournament due to fatigue.
Yeah.
So another interesting story on
why, Mrs. Davenport? Why are you going to play?
You go to Rutgers and still play for her if she's no longer the coach next season.
But why don't you want to play where your friends and loved ones can watch you play? I would have gone to Troy quicker than I'd gone to Rutgers.
Go to Troy, but you go to somewhere in the Southeastern Conference.
Well, the Division 1A, and the girl like this builds a program, Mike. You can put some people around her, and they'd be competitive.
Yeah, but we've talked about this before. A Sun Belt school's never going to compete. That's the biggest parity in athletics is a big-time women's college program compared to like a smaller 1A program like Troy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen when Troy's made the NCAA tournament, they've been beat by 50 points every time. I mean, the games are not even close. I mean, that's just a different level in talent. It's not even close. Good
picture of Dante Hall from Luverne slamming down a big dunk in yesterday's big game, Mike.
Yeah, he had 7 points and 15 rebounds.
15 rebounds. Hello, Luverne, Alabama. You know, my guy, Mike, has quit us. I don't know what I did wrong or what I said wrong to him, but we hadn't heard from Bud in a long time. Bud, if you're out there, let me know, man, that you're alive and well. And you can talk to us about Dante Hall this morning, the young man. Mike, he's going to the NBA because of that one factor right there. He can rebound.
Well, I definitely don't think he'll be a first-round pick, which
but
is
Mike,
money.
But don't you think he'll be a millionaire? He will be a millionaire, don't you think?
I think he'll be a guy that can play in Europe. I don't think he's an NBA player because he cannot shoot at all. You know, he can make a dunk, he can make a 2-foot layup, but when he steps out from 10 feet to 15 feet, he can't even make a jumper.
But fine, slammer jammer though. How would he do in that? He looks like he's pretty dominant slamming this one home.
I will say he's got a lot better shooting free throws, but I mean, you got to have a guy in the NBA, that can shoot a 15-footer, a guy that can maybe shoot a 3 at 6'9". That's one of those things he just won't be able to fit in on a roster. But he's done a good job being a double guy at Alabama this year, and I still don't know why Avery Johnson couldn't develop him with an outside shot. It would help a lot to get a big guy out of the middle down there. Make somebody not have to guard. Right there underneath the basket.
Mike, they're saying now that Josh Jacobs could be a first-round draft choice. Can you believe that?
He's been the first pick in the draft ever since he came out, as far as running backs go. He's definitely a first-round pick.
Tell me about.
For him, he's got 2 kids.
Oh yeah, we're looking at Alabama spring.
Live scoring right now. The Players Championship, Jacksonville, Florida. You got Vaughn Taylor in the lead with Keegan Bradley there at 7 under. Tommy Fleetwood's still 7 under. He's waiting to tee off at 1. Luke List is making the charge early this morning. He's 3 under on the day, 6 under overall. Roy McIlroy.
You mean they've already played that much golf already?
Tiger's at 2 under. There's guys that have already played.
Mike, I can't even. The sun wasn't even up when they started this morning.
There's guys that have already played 4 holes so far.
Don't you agree with me that the sun probably not even up?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the case.
A lot of people think that.
Dustin Johnson 3 under, Kuchar 3 under, Sergio Garcia 3 under. So it looks like it's going to be a fun weekend to watch some golf.
If we were living life to the fullest, we'd be going down there for Saturdays and Sundays round.
Well, I think what we ought to do is go to that end of the year FedEx Cup Players Championship in Atlanta.
But it's right in the middle of football season.
I know, but on a Sunday, that's not that big of a deal. I mean, that's not going to affect a Saturday. I mean, you could drive over to Atlanta easy on a Sunday and watch the final round. That'd be kind of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Najee Harris at Alabama, Mike. They say he's going to take over and he's going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. What do you think?
Well, I don't think he'll be a Heisman Trophy candidate, but I think he's a guy that'll have over 1,000 yards this year. He's a five-star running back out of California.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong. He's the fastest man on the team. Is that right?
No.
He's fast, though. Isn't he real fast?
He's 6'3", 240 pounds.
They say he runs a 4.4540.
The fastest guy on the team, we talked about it the other day, is the kid out of Robert E. Lee. Henry Ruggs III ran a 4.25.
Okay.
So 4.25 is world-class speed.
They call him the dynamic Najee Harris. Remember that name, ladies and gentlemen.
Breaking news out of Georgia. Russ Probst has been fired from his head coaching job in Colquitt County.
Oh, boy, he said something wrong.
It's another off-the-field issue for Russ Probst, and he had been suspended for a month and has now been fired by the Colquitt County Board of Education. So
well, thank goodness they're not putting football before academics. That's the great thing about it. Don't you agree?
You don't know if it's academics. It could be something off the field, probably.
Yeah. Well, I tell you,
is 110 and 16 at Denver, won 5 state championships. How amazing is that?
Isn't that amazing? Let me tell you this.
And then at Colquitt County, all he did was go 119 and 35 and win 2 more state championships. So that guy, I don't care what people say about him. He's a football coach.
Hey, you know what? If you were sitting there, you're exactly right. If you were sitting there with a college team that did not stress athletics and would do anything to win, he'd be the guy to hire.
He's a guy I think that should get into like Mississippi junior colleges or something like that. He's got that kind of personality to be like a JUCO coach and then maybe go to a Division II school. I mean, he's won over 300 games between Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah. Well, he's quite a coach. He's probably the most well-known high school coach in the country, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, doing that MTV show and, I mean, just all the off-the-field and on-the-field stuff. I mean, ESPN did a documentary about his
He was
life.
he was a head coach at Hoover High School, a head coach at Eufaula, a head coach at that school at Alma Bryant. Hey, he's been everywhere, and he's a disciple of Mummy.
Well, I mean, the thing with pros is, I mean, look who all coached under him. Chip Lindsey coached under him. Jeremy Pruitt coached under him. Matt Moore coached under him. The list goes on and on. The coaches, Brent Bedsole coached under him.
Yeah.
There's been so many coaches that have coached under Rush Probst.
Yeah. Tell me about Brian Robinson Jr., a native of Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
He's just a kid from Hillcrest that's been fifth-string running back.
But have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, he's played mop-up in a lot of games.
I know, but the general public has never heard of this guy.
He scored several touchdowns in mop-up duties.
They did. Brian Robinson Jr. is the number 2 tailback at Alabama behind.
He's a 4-star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Number 2 tailback.
The top running back in the country, Trey Sanders, out of IMG, a 5-star, so he'll be in the mix too.
Is he already in school?
I would think so. I would think he's already there.
Now, when will they have that spring game? Do you know?
I think it's April 19th.
That might be a time to be in Tuscaloosa. That might be fun to go watch.
Well, I mean, you kind of know what to expect. You know the star is going to be Tua, so I don't know if he'll be that big of a crowd or not.
Another thing, how about this? Don't count out Trey Sanders, rated the nation's number. I know. He was rated the number 1 tailback in the nation. How did Alabama get him, Mike?
He's already come out and said he's going to win the Heisman Trophy as a freshman.
Well, one thing about Alabama is, you can almost start calling them tailback U. What would you say?
I mean, the problem with Alabama had running back this year, you're not going to get as many carries because Tua's going to throw the ball so much. He's got the best receivers they've ever had.
And, of course, DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf has gone at Ole Miss. Did you know that he ran the 40 in 4.33?
Yeah, and he's 6'4", 235 pounds.
That is a huge. And how about this? A 40-inch vertical leap. Boy, he might be the best-looking athlete in the whole draft.
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss had some, freakish players at wide receiver, but unfortunately they had no defense. So that's why they're 5 and 7.
John Gruden said he looked like Jim Brown.
I still can't believe that Matt Luke is a Division I football coach in an SEC school. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Ole Miss is thinking with him being the head coach.
Yeah, that's right. And, of course, Gruden still says he reminds him of Jim Brown. Let me tell you about Jim Brown, and I'll vouch for this. Jim Brown, I bet you Jim Brown didn't run 4.7. I bet he didn't even run 4.7.
You're talking about a wide receiver compared to a running back. Why would he make that comparison?
Well, that's what Metcalf left an impression on Oakland Raiders coach John Gruden. He looked like Jim Brown. He's the biggest wideout I've ever seen, Gruden said. You have to ask yourself, who is tackling this guy? Gruden has still got some comments. Hey, how about this? He did 225 27 times. That means he took 225 and did it 27 times.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
But my buddy, Mike, my buddy at Troy did it 52 times, and we filmed it and watched him do it.
Yeah, but he never played a lick in the NFL.
No, he didn't. But we watched him do 52 reps, which is, I think, a record.
Yeah, speaking of John Gruden, they released A.J. McCarron as the backup quarterback yesterday. So A.J. is
He's out of it.
He NFL roster, and bless his heart, he played for the Bengals and Andy Dalton for several years, and never saw the field. And then they thought that when he got traded to the Buffalo Bills, he'd get to play, and he got beat out by the rookie Josh Allen. Then he went to Oakland to be the backup for Derek Carr, and now he's without a football team, but maybe he'll get picked up by somebody.
He'll go down. He'll go down as the guy that had the had the beautiful girlfriend in the stadium. That
he married her.
Oh, he did marry her. Well, good.
Yeah, he married her and they have 2 kids. But he made $5 million last year.
Oh,
so you can't feel sorry
I am
for him.
proud for him. You're right. I liked him. I always liked him.
I mean, I tell you what.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Bubba, Mike. He reminds me a lot of Bubba, don't he? You?
Bubba Watson and A.J. McCarron?
Yeah, A.J. McCarron. They're from the same part of the state of Alabama, Mike.
Your favorite thing about A.J. McCarron is all the tattoos he's got all over him.
No, I didn't particularly like that. Hey, let me tell you something. You knew. Let's make this clear. The way I view tattoos. Let me ask you this: what would be probably the worst thing you could do, living at my house?
Probably get an earring or get a tattoo.
You're right. But if you lived under my roof, you would not have a tattoo. I believe you me. You're like about John Forney would say, and believe you me.
Well, luckily, I'm the type of person that would never want a tattoo.
Yeah. Let me see if you remember things. I used to talk about.
The only jewelry I like is a watch, and I wear a lot, and I've got a lot.
I've never seen a guy with so many watches in his life. In fact, he brings me 2 watches that said you can have these. And I've got quite a collection now, thanks to you.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things.
The problem is none of them tell time.
My only vice is I like to buy watches and I like to buy tickets to football games. That's about it.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah,
I don't hunt. I don't fish. Even though I could hunt and fish more than anybody in planet, I guess, but just don't care to do it.
Well, you like to eat. We know that.
Yeah, actually, I'm a professional eater. That's what I am.
But you're one of these guys, though. You're a gourmet. You like gourmet food.
I tell you what, man, we were down here last night, and all we had was spaghetti. So I'm not.
Well, I love. Who made spaghetti? I love spaghetti. Who made spaghetti for you?
My wife makes spaghetti.
Yeah, boy, did she make good spaghetti?
You might be surprised. I can actually make spaghetti.
Yeah, did she make it with meatballs, or what did she make it with?
No, we just do ground beef. She does chicken spaghetti that you've had before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got you. I like tomatoes though, and you don't.
The thing my wife does that I do love more than anything is I'm a big dressing guy, and she can make any homemade dressing I've ever loved.
Yeah.
Like great Thousand Island, great ranch, great blue cheese. So that's always great for me.
The smartest thing you did was to marry a beautiful girl, which you did, that has produced you 2 beautiful girls, which she did, and she is a great cook.
That is true.
But by moving to Grayton Beach, you're leaving the midst of one of the great cooks in Alabama. Mike, what are you going to do about that?
It's funny. We are Episcopal, and we went down to meet the new priest at our Episcopal church here in Santa Rosa Beach. That's the closest place from Grayton that we can go to church, and so we go down there and we meet the priest, and he was at McCallie with my brother-in-law, Marvin Epps. How crazy is that?
Oh, you mean they're classmates at McCallie?
Yep, same year and everything.
Isn't that amazing? Well, that's great. So they'll have a good place to go to church when they're visiting you down there. Is that right?
Yeah, but it was fun to meet him, and it's a situation down here where you got so many transplants, you got a lot of young families moving down here. You got a lot of older families moving down here and starting families again. So going to be interesting to meet different people down here.
You know,
all kinds of young and old.
There are a lot of Troy people down there. I know that.
I need to reach out to some people that have been texting me and asked me if I moved so far.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about McCauley. That's a private school or boarding school for kids in Chattanooga. There's another school there, and I heard.
It's Baylor Prep in McCauley.
They call it the Baylor School. Is that right? Is that how they recognize
right.
the Baylor School for something? But McCauley has been there just as long and is just as nice a facility as Baylor, and they've got one of their alumnus is a pretty well-known guy.
What, John Hanna?
No, John Hanna. He played at Baylor, but how about McCauley?
Who's their alumnus?
This guy was big in the TV business, Mike.
I don't know who it would be. They probably have tons of them.
Who started news, big-time TV news?
Walter Cronkite?
No, zero bomb. You got two more chances.
I mean, what kind of news are you talking
Well,
about?
we're talking about 24-hour news. Who started it?
Ted Turner?
You're right. Ted Turner went to the McCauley School.
I didn't realize that. That's the first time I've heard this.
Of course, it's a boarding school where my son-in-law went. He went for 4 years to that school. What have I done that to you, Mike?
You would love to get rid of your kids.
What have I done? If I'd done that to you, everybody would have thought I was terrible. Terrible. If I'd sent you off to boarding school for 4 years. First of all, I couldn't afford it.
You kept on threatening to send me to Marion Institute.
Yeah. You know, I ask people all the time, and of course, good friends of mine, they've gone to Marion, and I'll mention a few in a minute. But we always ask them, did you go there or were you sent there? That's a big difference. Isn't that right? Either you went there on your own accord or were you sent there. The majority of them were sent there. And you know, that was a great school, Mike. Let me tell you something. Marion is a great military school, at least it was. And, of course, from Troy, Jerry Rhodes went there and played football. Alec Whaley, the great builder. See, we're using these alumnus at Marion like we were talking about McCauley and Baylor. Let's see. Let's throw out a few more. Herbie Huna went there. Boy, old Brock, man, he got 2 doubles, Mike. He's playing great ball. Both those Huna boys are playing great ball for Charles Henderson. Some other guys, Stanley Henner went there. He later on went to Auburn and got rich in the accounting business. And that's Herbie's brother. And, of course, he was a state shot put champion. Some other guys that went there, Richard Dowling from Enterprise went there, Dowling Truck and Tractor. He went to Marion. Ray Collins went to Marion. These are guys that grew up in Troy. I tell you, Tombo Brantley, one of the great ones out of Brundage, one of the top attorneys in the country, went to Marion out of Brundage, Alabama. And, of course, I'm sure...
I didn't know there was a lot of Brandleys in Brundage and Troy, huh?
Yeah, same Brantley. That's Jacqueline's first cousin, Tombo. And, of course...
one was a doctor in Brundage, one was a doctor in Troy?
Well, no, he wasn't a doctor. He was a lawyer.
Okay.
He was a lawyer, and he's one of the top criminal lawyers in the country. Tombo Brantley from Troy, Alabama. From Brundage, Alabama.
So instead of growing up in Brundage, though, he grew up instead of growing up in Troy, he grew up in Brundage. His parents
and played for Pike County High School. Also, some other guys that went to Marion were Bob Shirey. He went to Marion, and I'm just guessing off the top of my, and of course, I want to say Bob Whaley went, but I might be wrong. But a lot of Troy kids, and I know a lot of kids in your neck of the woods went to Marion and got a good education and transferred to Auburn or Alabama or Troy or wherever they wanted to go. But that was just a few of those guys that went to Marion Institute. Of course, Marion didn't have near the population that it once had, but they still educate a lot of young people. A lot of military.
Yeah, the phenom of college basketball returned last night, Zion Williams, the kid that Nike sneaker blew out on him, and he missed several games for Duke. All he did was come back and go 13 for 13 and score 29 points last night as Duke beat Syracuse 84-72. So with him being back, you got to put Duke. That's definitely a team to make the Final Four and possibly a team that can win it all.
Yeah, exactly. No question about it.
This guy is 6'7", 265 pounds.
Oh man, this basketball player.
Yeah.
Boy, he's bigger than the grand round man of
like LeBron
rebound.
James, 6'8". LeBron's 6'8", about 250.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, that is something. Want to mention a few other things going on here. We were talking about Alabama's spring practice, and like you mentioned, now you got to be big and fast. Najee Harris is 6'2", 227, a junior. Running back Brian Robinson, 6'1", 226, a junior. Running back Jerome Ford, have you ever heard of him? 5'11", 206.
Yeah, he played a little bit last year.
Running back DeMarquez Lockridge, 5'11", 216. All these guys are big. And he's a redshirt senior. And then you got a running back named Jahi Brown, 6 foot, 223, a junior. You ever heard of any of those guys?
Some of those guys are walk-ons.
Taking a look at, and summer rivals are Trey Sanders, 6 foot, 214, a freshman, considered the top running back in the nation last year. Is that right?
Yeah, he was on that team when they went up to Hoover and beat Hoover, I think 49-7.
And a guy named Keelan Robertson, 5'9", 184. And a surprise candidate is Ford. Mike, do you know that much about him?
I mean, he's a kid from Florida that's really fast, but he's more of a scat back. He's not that big.
Yeah. But it's amazing these guys.
The thing with Alabama is they're going to score a lot of points. I mean, if you're an Alabama fan, you got to wonder what they're going to do on defense. After they got shredded by Oklahoma and shredded by Clemson, I mean, that's what they've got to shore up. I'm not worried about the offense. I know the offense is going to score 40 points a game at least.
Yeah.
It's just what the defense is going to do.
No question about it. Troy University.
It's just like, I was talking to a buddy the other day about the national championship game. Of course, Clemson, was, extremely gracious at the end. They probably could have put 50 or 60 points on Alabama, but Alabama should have been in the 30s.
Hey, let me ask you this.
You had the ball 5 times inside the 20-yard line, and you can't score any points.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Is Dabo smart, or is he smart by doing that? Hey, he'll be. Hey, when Saban leaves, he'll be their top coach, top candidate for the coaching job, even though he probably won't go. But I can't see why he wouldn't go. I would think Dabo, if Saban leaves, Dabo would be the man, and he'll leave Clemson and go to Alabama. Don't you think?
I don't know.
All you got to do is listen to his conversations, Mike. He talks about Alabama all the time, like he worships Alabama, and a lot of.
I know, but I'm saying Dabo has a cemetery for big wins, so he put up a tombstone for the 44-16 win over Alabama that's in their stadium now.
yeah, that was a big.
They still have they now have 2 Alabama tombstones up for when they won the national championships against them.
Isn't that amazing?
When you put a tombstone up against Alabama, Alabama doesn't appreciate that at all.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of folks don't.
I'll say this: if Dabo takes that job, I guarantee you, within a year or 2 years, if they don't win, he will regret it tremendously because the pressure of the Alabama job compared to the Clemson job is non-existent.
Dabo Swinney out of the little community in Birmingham called.
It's not a very little community. Pelham is pretty big.
What's the name of it?
Pelham.
Pelham. From out here at Pelham, ladies and gentlemen, makes.
Pelham's only about 20 miles from downtown Birmingham. So
that poor old walk-on in Alabama makes how much money, Mike?
Who makes?
What does he make? How much does Dabo make?
Dabo makes about $7.5 million.
I thought he made more than that. So he's not the second highest paid guy right now. Who's the highest paid guy? Saban.
Actually, he might be the second highest since Urban Meyer retired.
I think he makes 10. I think he makes at least 10. I might be wrong.
Dabo doesn't make 10. Saban makes around 10.
I know that. All right, well, give us the top 5 money makers.
I'd have to look it up.
Michigan pays their guy, and he has yet to do what they wanted him to do. They pay their guy close to 10, don't they?
Who, Harbaugh?
Yeah. And how in the world can Ohio State's coach, how can Urban Meyer turn down
He's retired.
I know, but how can he retire when he's making that kind of money? Why would he want to retire? He could have said...
He's got all kinds of, health issues.
Yeah. All right, can you tell us who they are?
I'll have to pull it up.
Of course, we were talking about Alabama's spring and Auburn's spring. What are they going to do at running back, and what are they going to do at quarterback is the big secret. I think I'm gonna try to maybe run over there and take a look at him if I can. They've got some holes they got to fill, and everybody tells me that defensively they lost all their linebackers. Is that right?
I mean, they lost their linebackers, but they got probably the best defensive line in the country coming back.
And and of course, if and that means a lot right there. I think he feels very confident that his team will be good this year. Talking about
it doesn't matter though. I mean, how are you going to win when you play that schedule?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, no question about it. And of course, we're looking at the big weekend. Troy's got a great baseball weekend starting tonight from Riddle Pace Field. They play Arkansas State in the first 3 games in conference play. Hopefully the Trojans can rebound. They're 9-8 now, and hopefully they can rebound and get things started. But I'm sort of like you, Mike. They've got good weekend pitching, but their midweek pitching is not very good. Which they don't really. From here on out, I don't believe that matters that much, does it?
Shoot, it matters when you want to, get to the NCAA regional. Just like Coach Smart said, you got to try to get around 40 wins.
Yeah, and they need to beat Alabama twice, don't they?
If you lose every midweek game, you're not going to be able to go.
Yeah. Who do they got in the non-conference? They got Alabama, I know. They got Alabama State, I know.
I'd have to look it up.
I don't know the rest. I'm not looking at the schedule right now. But it is take a kid to the game.
I know they don't play Auburn this year.
You could take a kid to the game. I think it's under 12, and that kid gets in free. And of course, hope that it'll be a good weekend. It'll be afternoon game on Saturday and afternoon game on Sunday as the Trojans go up against the Red Wolves, Mike.
Let's see. Trying to pull this up.
Of course, we've got golf galore this weekend. A lot of folks, believe it or not, will be heading to Ponte Vedra, which is right there at Jacksonville, Florida, to watch golf. And like we said, it's the easiest golf tournament if you want to go in as a spectator. The easiest golf tournament to go to in America. Wouldn't you say that, Mike?
Well, they say that as far as the galleries. I mean, they let anybody in. Anybody can buy a ticket. Troy will maybe win a non-conference game here on March 20th. They'll play Maine at home. You think they can beat Maine?
Maine's pretty good now. Now, don't laugh. Now, they're pretty good.
Then they play Alabama on April the 2nd in Tuscaloosa. They play UAB in Troy on April the 9th. Alabama State in Troy on the 10th of April. They got Sanford at Troy on April 16th. So they still got a lot of non-conference games. Sanford and Birmingham.
And for some reason,
Montgomery and Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Then they get Alabama at Riddle Pace Field on May the 8th. So that'll be a big game right before the conference tournament, actually. So they play Alabama really late in the season at Troy.
Yeah. Did you say they're going to play somebody at Riverfront?
They're going to play Alabama State at Riverwalk.
At Riverwalk, okay. That'd be a good one. I noticed that they put out the all-state teams, Mike, sports writers do, and the 7A boys, they give us a little replay on this guy, Ahmad Ellington, the guard out of Hoover, but he's only 5'10". He can't be a major college player. What do you think?
but maybe some smaller.
Now, this guy right here out of Robert E. Lee of Montgomery is Desmond Robertson. He's 6'8" forward.
He's already signed with Murray State.
Going to Murray. Wow. And how about Trendon Watford, the kid out of Mountain Brook? He's a senior at 6'9".
He's the top player in the state, one of the top players in the country.
Now let me tell you this. You know,
looks like now he'll be going to Duke.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Duke's coming in.
Oh, gosh.
Where he's going to
Well, let me ask this. If Alabama can go...
Especially with Avery Johnson probably going to lose his job. I don't think he'll get Alabama now.
You know how Avery Johnson can keep his job is to sign this guy. If Avery signs this guy, he'll get a new contract.
Well, I mean, regardless of where this guy goes, he's only going 1 year.
Is he the best player in Alabama, Watford?
Yeah, I mean, this kid's been the best player in Alabama for 3 straight years.
Yeah. Of course, Kobe Brown.
You're talking about a guy that's 6'9" that can run the point.
Yeah, okay, can handle the ball that well.
Yeah,
6'8".
He's a skilled guy. He's like a LeBron James.
All right, who is I'll tell you somebody else. Who is the greatest 6'8" guard in the history of basketball?
The greatest history of basketball, the greatest 6'9" guard was Irvin Magic Johnson.
No, I thought he was 6'8". But you know what? He wasn't a great scorer, Mike. You know, everybody talks about Magic.
He was a walking triple-double.
He wasn't even a great scorer in college, was he?
No,
I mean, in the pros.
He scored in the 40s many times.
In the pros?
Yeah.
Magic Johnson shot in the pros. I think you need to relook at that. I don't think Magic was that good a shooter. And I tell you, Robert Horry is one that wasn't that good a shooter either.
I guarantee you, Magic Johnson averaged over 20 a game.
I bet you Robert Horry averaged less than 10 points a game in the pros.
Robert Horry was the guy that came off the bench, though. He
I know, yeah. They call him Big Shot Bob, yeah. And I like that.
He played when the game was on the line.
Yeah.
That's when you want to play at the start, or you want to play at the finish.
Your all-time favorite basketball player was Robert Horry. Is that right?
I can't believe you think Magic Johnson didn't score a lot of points.
All right. Check it out.
You know, Magic Johnson had to take 2 or 3 years off when he got diagnosed with HIV.
Well, I know, but what he did so well was feeded on.
He played after that, though.
He was a great assist guy, Mike.
Well, that's what I said. He was a walking triple-double. Triple-double means assists, rebounds, and points.
All right, you check that out. Kobe.
Who do you think was the best player overall? What in the world's wrong with my computer today? It's all freezing up.
The best college player probably was.
I mean, Oscar Robinson was
the greatest. I was going to say Oscar Robinson was probably one of the great college players of all time. Jerry West was a great player at West Virginia. And Maravich, of course, scored way more points than everybody did, but I don't think anybody would consider him the greatest basketball player that ever lived. But college player, gosh, Bill Walton was pretty good. In the championship game his senior year, Mike, he was 24 out of 25.
Yeah, you're talking about Walton when he played at UCLA.
When he played at UCLA in that final game, or 20, it's somewhere like that. 20 out of 21 shots he hit, and led his team to victory. Looking at some of these other 6'8" boys, Kobe Brown. You reckon who he's named after? Liam Huntsville. He's a guard, big guard, Mike, 6'7".
I don't know. You think he's
Jaquan Walton, Carver of Montgomery, senior guard, 6'6". Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, Magic Johnson averaged over 20 points a game in the NBA.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Deontay Gordon, 5'8", LaFleur, 6'8". Now, you know, I watched a kid play at Sartain Hall in the high school all-star game, our high school tournament, Mike, who's from Mobile. Name that player that made it to the pros almost right away. DeMarcus Cousins played here in the state basketball regional tournament in Troy, and everybody knew what a great player was. And I think he went 1 year in college and then off to the pros. Is that right?
Yeah, him and the Bledsoe kid that played at Parker both went to Kentucky for 1 year and then went as first-round draft picks.
All right, you're the guru. Name me 5 players. Name me 5 players in the NBA that did not even go to college.
LeBron James.
LeBron didn't go to college. Kobe didn't go to college. Would you consider him?
Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett.
Garnett didn't go to college?
Yeah, Garnett didn't go to college. Moses Malone didn't go to college.
Yeah, Moses Malone. That's a long time ago, yeah. Who's the guy that broke down so many goals? I mean, they had to have extra goals.
Daryl Dawkins
Daryl Dawkins didn't go to college. Ladies and gentlemen, Daryl Dawkins is known for one thing. What was he known for, Mike? That everybody just cringed when he came out on the court.
He has talked about it, breaking glass.
He has shut down more games, Daryl Dawkins, by ripping the goal off the basket and making that fiberglass backboard just crumble to nothing. And he did that several times.
You know, Shaquille O'Neal did that too.
And why did they let them play? They should have put a rule against them doing that. Because I think only most cases they've got one or maybe possibly two sets of goals left.
You know, I want to say that happened in a Troy game one time. I can't remember who it was.
It was that big guy out of New York, probably. You remember that big guy they signed?
Rob Lewin.
Yeah, you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Boy, if Troy had him, he's the kind of guy that you could call a franchise player, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, he was one of the most dominant inside guys they've had since they were Division I. Nobody could stop him.
But they had another guy, a great forward named Moore. You remember who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I do remember him.
Bald-headed.
They had a great point guard out of Memphis, that Golden kid.
He might have been the best player to ever play at Troy. Golden was a great player. He transferred and played 1 year, and he took Troy.
He transferred from Memphis.
And took Troy to the promised land, didn't he? Didn't he take them pretty good ways?
Yeah, here's the top 15 players that came straight from high school. You won't know some of these guys. Andrew Bonham, Kendrick Perkins, he's still playing. Al Jefferson, he's still playing. Daryl Dawkins is number 12.
I mean, they became millionaires. They became millionaires out of high school. Is that right?
Tyson Chandler, he's still playing. Rashad Lewis, he had a great career. He's still playing. Or no, he's retired. Jermaine O'Neal, he had a long career. Let's see, Amari Stoudemire, he was really good. Sean Kemp, they called him the Rain Man, played for the Supersonics. Let's see, Tracy McGrady had a great career.
I believe you still watch that stuff. Do you still watch that stuff?
Tracy McGrady, Dwight Howard's still playing. Kevin Garnett's number 4. Number 3, I already mentioned Moses Malone.
Yeah.
That was pretty unique with Moses Malone because that was back in the 70s.
Yeah, oh yeah. But these kids didn't even go to college. They signed and became millionaires out of high school. How did a kid?
And then Kobe Bryant, and then the top guy ever is LeBron James.
Yeah. Oh boy! All right.
I mean, how can you pass up though a chance to get injured when you can be a multimillionaire? Though, I mean, you got to do this if you're those guys. That's what they're saying. The whole thing about Zion Williams, the guy at Duke. You know, you're about to sign a Nike shoe deal. You're about to, make just several millions of dollars as the first pick in the NBA draft. You know, why would you come back if you think you're injured at all?
All right, Mike, give me the top 5 players to ever play the game.
I mean, we talked about this the other day. I mean, it's got to be Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain, Michael
Wait a minute,
Jordan,
Kareem. All right, Kareem. You'd put Wilt in there as one of the great players.
50 points a game for a season.
Well, he wasn't always that good. Okay, all right, Wilt and Kareem, and who else?
I mean, it's got to be Jordan, number 1.
Jordan.
Number 2.
You think Jordan was better than LeBron?
Some people like Larry Bird. I would take Magic Johnson over Larry Bird.
You would?
Yeah.
You know, Larry Bird could win, Mike. He was a great player.
I mean, Bill Russell, a lot of people would put him in the top 5.
Yeah, you're right. He would be a great center.
He won more championships than anybody, but back then he didn't play against anybody either.
Yeah.
I guess all he played against was Wilt.
Wilt did score 100 points in a game. He's the only one that did that. Probably the only one that will ever do it. Who's the closest second?
Kareem is the all-time lead scorer in the history of basketball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was a great player. You take Kareem, Bill Russell, and Chamberlain. Those 3 were dynamic centers. Of course, Jordan.
You had other guys that didn't win champions. Charles Barkley was a great NBA player. Dominique Wilkins was a great NBA player. But I always try to, think of guys that won championships. Isaiah Thomas was a great point guard. Bob Cousy was a great guard. The list goes on and on.
I was looking here at these high school kids, and they've got a forward out of LaFleur named Gordon that was really a great player this year. Cameron Tucker out of Winona, a guard, 6'2". If these guys are the number one guards in Alabama, I would definitely try to recruit them. Kason Stokes out of Headland, Mike's a 6-foot guard, but evidently he's really good.
Well, now since Coach Cunningham and his staff have left, they got the top All-State guard out of Brubaker Tech.
Yeah, will he come to Troy? You're right.
Will he still come? I don't know.
Jared Taylor out of Hillcrest at Evergreen. Now, that's right around the corner now. He's a guard, 6'2", senior. Must be pretty good. And this here's a kid out of Westminster of Huntsville, Alston Leslie. He's a guard, 6'4" guard. Are you familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
Cooper Meadows out of Prattville Christian, 6'6" forward. And then this guy, Caden Milligan out of Plainview. That's up there on Sand Mountain, Mike. He's a 6'3" guard. I bet he's good. And
then, it's one of those type things, Plainview, I guess, he might can,
yeah. All right, now, I've already told you about the kid from the great guard, first team All-State guard from Headland. How about this? A guard, All-State guard out of Abbeville named Jaquan Kinsey, 6'2" guard out of Abbeville. Troy ought to try to get one of those guys, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, that's why you need to go ahead and hire a new coach, though, so you can go in and start recruiting.
Noah Bowler out of Decatur Heritage is a 6'8" forward.
You're not looking, though. It tells you where they're going to school.
No, it doesn't either. Not this thing.
The list I looked at the other day had where they're going to school.
All right, where are they going? Do you have it on you?
I don't know. I looked at it about a week ago.
One of the top players in the Alabama Independent Schools, his name is Gunnar Henderson out of Morgan Academy. Is a 6'3" forward. And then there's a guard out of Tuscaloosa Academy, Hadrian McNeil, 5'10" guard. And another kid, Peyton Allen out of Chambers. Those are the top three players in the independent schools. Just throwing out and trying to recognize some of these kids today. Now, the kid that Charles Henderson has a commitment from, Mike, is quite a good guard, isn't he?
Yeah, not Charles Henderson, but Troy.
Troy. How tall is this guy?
He's only 6'1".
6'1", but he's supposed to be a great three-point shooter, and that's what Troy needs badly. If you're going to shoot the three-pointer.
We got the SEC tournament again today. You got Auburn playing today. You got Alabama playing tonight against Kentucky. So definitely watch that. That'll be fun to watch. Yeah. And the Players' Championship's already started as well. Like we mentioned, Keegan Bradley is now 9 under. 2 shots ahead.
Have you noticed that he has put some meat on his bones? His aunt is the great pro player, that everybody talks about. And helped develop him as a young player.
He plays a lot of rounds with us, Michael Jordan. He actually wears Jordan shoes.
Does he? Well, have you noticed he was a scrawny, skinny guy?
When he had the long putter, but once him and Webb Simpson and some of those other guys had to do away with that long putter. You're not seeing them win near as much anymore. It's taking them a while to get used to putting, a regular-sized putter.
Yeah, something else about him, though, Mike, he's gotten so much stronger. Look at him now. I bet he's gained 20 pounds, and he's muscular. He's gotten real bulky, and who started that? Tiger started that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And, of course, Tiger was my guy that does TV now, Mike, that was such a great player in his day. What's his name? He's one of the top TV guys on Golf Channel.
David Duvall?
Yeah, Duvall. Now, Duvall might have started it before Tiger. Duvall was a real physical player. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was crazy. He's a guy that won like 12, 14
and he was the number one golfer in the
Open.
world. That's right. And what did he do now?
He won 12 to 14 tournaments in the British Open. He kind of disappeared. He kind of got into like skiing and didn't like to play as much. And
it was an attitude thing, wasn't it? I tell you what, you listen to him, though, he's a real good analyst. He really does a great job.
I thought your favorite analyst was Brandel Chamblee.
I like Chamblee's hair, Mike. I like old Chamblee, buddy. I bet he's got a bunch of girlfriends.
Well, you know, Paul Aziger has replaced Johnny Miller on the NBC crew.
I know it, and I hate that. I thought Johnny Miller was great, but other people did they?
Yeah, I think he kind of rubbed people the wrong way. A lot of the golfers, I don't think.
He was cocky, man. No question about it. He was cocky.
Somebody being so critical.
Yeah, Tiger didn't like him, did he?
Well, Tiger doesn't like Brandel Chamblee. Brandel Chamblee's real critical of Tiger.
Oh, isn't that amazing? It's amazing what these guys, these analysts can do to people's reputation. Nobody likes Bubba. Why?
You're talking about a guy that I think won one tournament on the nationwide tour in Brandel Chamblee. So, you know, he's not a guy that can really back it up.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. My favorite golfer, I'm going to go ahead and tell it, is Bubba.
If you put somebody like Mickelson in the box one day, things would be different. You'd have to respect what he says.
Yeah. I like Mickelson, but my favorite golfer is Bubba. He's my favorite. And another Georgia golfer, we were talking the other day, how many players has Georgia produced in golf?
They've produced a lot. You know, Brian Harmon played at Georgia. He's top of the players' leaderboard.
Where did this Mitchell guy go to school, Mike?
Where to where?
Everybody's talking about this Mitchell guy. Where did he go to school?
Mitchell guy went to Georgia.
Boy, they must have a heck of a program.
Georgia's got 7 or 8 guys on the PGA Tour. Alabama's got 3. Doug Colley, Trey Mullinex, and then Justin Thomas.
Well, the other guys on the tour, Mike.
Actually, they got 4. Michael Thompson.
They got the kid from Mobile, Mike. He's on the tour, isn't he?
Who?
The kid from Mobile. Isn't he on the tour?
No, he's on the web.com, Robbie Sheldon.
Yeah. Sheldon did the unheard of, shot a 58 one time, didn't he?
No, that was Bobby White from Mobile that did that.
Oh, okay. Guys, and both of them were from the same area, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. We're talking sports today on Today in L.A.
That's the thing, like, I don't think people realize, like, I mean, you know, these kids in high school, you're talking about the Charles Anderson high school golf team, and the McQuarrie kid, you know, shoots 69.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean,
and he's youngster.
On a college golf team, you got to make around, you got to shoot around 64, 65.
Yeah. Exactly right. Mike, we're going to go on break. We'll be right back.
Local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Why buy from Pike County Ford? We live local. Troy is our home, so you'll always be dealing with hometown folks who are all about Troy. We'll beat any legitimate written offer you bring in, so you know you're getting the best deal guaranteed. And no matter what you buy from Pike County Ford, you can always count on the best service before and after the sale. Bottom line, you get good people, a better product, and the best deal, guaranteed. Pike County Ford in Troy, never too far for a far better deal.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
Weekly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Why buy from Pike County Ford? We live local. Troy is our home, so you'll always be dealing with hometown folks who are all about Troy. We'll beat any legitimate written offer you bring in, so you know you're getting the best deal guaranteed. And no matter what you buy from Pike County Ford, you can always count on the best service before and after the sale. Bottom line, you get good people, a better product, and the best deal, guaranteed. Pike County Ford in Troy, never too far for a far better deal.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Tori Dunn from Dixie Trails. You get your truck washed here?
I sure do.
Really, Dunn? I know you're not bringing them cow trucks over here.
I do, and they're like new when I leave.
Loretta, what are you doing?
Getting my car detailed.
At Trojan Detail, we do it all.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Here we go. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, brought to you by our good friends at Colin. We appreciate you being with us, Colin McCrary, and of course, Wells Fargo Advisors is alive and well. I know you're busy this morning, but if you'll take a few minutes with us, Colin McCrary, of course, is with one of our main sponsors, Wells Fargo Advisors. Colin also was a two-time or three-time All-American at Troy.
Oh, I was a one-time.
One-time All-American. Well, let's say he was All-American numerous times at Troy. And, of course, you had a great college career and great amateur career over the years playing golf. But something that I think you might go down as one of the great teachers, because your young son, Griff, is just shooting lights out in golf right now.
He's really turned the corner. He's got a lot of talent, and if he just keeps, he's recently started working more on his short game from 100 yards in, and that's where he's got a lot of room for improvement, and he's really got a passion for it and loves it, and it's been a blessing.
You know, something I said on TV the other day or yesterday when we were talking about that 69 that he shot over Eufaula with, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, 6 straight birdies. But I still remember that little boy sitting out next to the entrance to the pro shop, wanting somebody to go play with him. you know, he would ask you, say, "You want to go play? You want to go play?" And this is when he was a young boy, but his work ethic is unreal, Colin. Where did he get that?
He still likes to play, and he still stands out there and asks for people to play golf with him because he'd rather tee it up and go see what he could shoot most any day than practice. But he took him to the Auburn golf camp in December for 2 days, and he worked with the Auburn coaches, and I think he came away from that learning that he had to work harder to get better, and that's starting to pay off for him.
How old is he now, Colin?
He's 16.
Colin, when did you ever make 6 straight birdies in your life?
Gosh, I can't remember.
Did you ever do that?
Probably somewhere about that age, somewhere in that area, sometime.
Now, it was 69, and this was at the Country Club of Alabama over in Eufaula. That is a that is a course that's laid out for the pros, isn't it?
It's a pretty good track. Now, they play it a little bit shorter in high school. They do play a little shorter course, shorter tees, the white tees most of the time. So it's still a great feat. I don't care. He had actually 9 birdies out of 18 holes, and
that is
I don't care where you play. That's pretty good.
That is fabulous. Well, of course, how old? He's 16, but now he's in the 10th grade. Is that right?
He's a junior. He's
a junior. What do you think his main attribute is? I know he loves the game, but what does he do better than? Is it better short game, or is he better hitting the tee, or what?
He's strong. He's really strong. He hits it a long way. He hits the driver extremely straight to be so long. I think that's his definite strength.
Yeah. Didn't all of this sort of just? I mean, I know he's he's gone to some good coaches, and I know you've worked with him a lot and played with him a lot. In fact, I reckon that's what you look forward to more than anything is a big match with your son after you get off work. Is that right?
Yeah, we tend to do that right before dark, lots of days.
Isn't that wonderful though? Because I know what a competitor you are and what a great golfer you were, and to go out and have to battle it out and play the best golf you can play against your 16-year-old son.
It's fun. It really is. It's fun. It keeps me going.
Now, something else, of course, you know, like you said, does he practice much or does he play a lot?
He mainly plays.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't his attention span to sit there and practice for hours like I used to, and he struggles with that. And he's had Tyler Dozier and Carl Narrow and a few people work with him to try to help him get better in that area, and he does practice more, but he does it usually 20 to 30 minutes he practices, and then he goes plays a while, then he comes back and practices.
People that know you know what an outstanding golfer you were, and of course some of your Hancock and all your buddies over in Greenville get a tickle about this. People don't see every day the competitive spirit that you have. You don't like to lose even to your son, do you?
No, I don't.
People that know Colin know that he's a great competitor, and I believe that's what made you a good golfer. Is you're so competitive, you know.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. The cool thing about Griff is that for the last 4 or 5 years, David Hancock and his brother Philip Hancock have played with Griff, and Ben Bates 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Griff and I have played with Ben, and he's been exposed to Buddy Goose from Americus, Georgia, and he's just been exposed to a lot of really, really, really good players.
Yeah,
and those guys have taken time and shared some of their secrets and techniques with him, and he's just absorbed a lot of that. He's been fortunate to have those people help him.
And ladies and gentlemen, all of this and all these great things that are happening to him, and of course he's not a big guy, but he's strong. Does he work out with weights?
Yes, he enjoys weightlifting at school.
All right, now that would have been something.
Extremely strong legs, and his thighs are extremely large. And next time you see him,
I've noticed
it.
I've noticed it, and that's where people keep. Of course, you know, club speed has a lot to do with it too. But people need to understand that. One of the reasons you hit the ball a long way is because you got good legs.
That's right. If you look at his legs, you see some Nicholas.
Yeah.
Strokes. and calves there.
Yeah. He's not very tall. Do you think he'll grow more or what?
Well, his shoe size is 12 and a half.
Oh,
so
boy.
He's about 5'7", so he kind of looks like an L when he's walking down the fairway, but looks like the letter L.
Yeah.
But
one thing, Colin, that
taller.
Yeah. Of course, I was going to mention some things that Colin's been doing, but before I do, I want to mention this. This young man has had a tough road. He's had some health problems. That how is he addressing those?
Well, he has Tourette's, and he's been.
All right, now that's called Tourette's syndrome.
He's had a lot of therapy and treatment, and we worked hard with doctors and therapists, and he's managing it better. It's not curable. There's no cure for it, and golf seems to be a difficult game, but he manages it pretty well. I think he manages it extremely well.
But don't you think golf has helped him fight this disease probably as well as you could with anything else?
It's been really good. It's given him,
because he knows he's got to have a certain temperament, doesn't he?
Yeah, but Mike, he doesn't just do golf. Lenny Trawick gives him guitar lessons every week. He's on the archery team. He loves to surf fish at the beach. We try to keep him rounded and not just do golf. He does a lot of different stuff. He loves fishing, and he loves the guitar, and he loves archery.
I would be a rich man if somebody gave me $100 for every time your wife has taken him to practice or taken him to do something. She has just been so loyal to him, hasn't she?
No doubt, no question.
And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so proud of this young man, and I'm proud of the Braxton Barron shot 76. I was proud of that.
Yep, Braxton's getting better. The whole team is getting better. The Charles Henderson team should have a good season this year. They've got...
Paramore is getting better, and...
Braden Presswood is a young kid that's really amazing, and he's already contributing big time. And
of course, his daddy's a good golfer, and his granddaddy's a good golfer. He came from a golf family, didn't he?
There's a good genetic makeup there for golf, no doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colin McCreary, of course, is my broker, and I've been friends with Colin for years and years. When he first came here, he happens to be from Americus, Georgia, the home of Chan Gailey. Of course, you knew what great friends I was with Chan when he was here. And, of course, you grew up playing golf with Chan Gailey and Dan Reeves, some of the big names in football, didn't you?
Yeah, Americus was really, really big football town back then, and still is, actually. But Chan and Dan turned out to be two celebrities.
And a guy that might have been better than both of them was Jerry Reeves. You remember Jerry, of course, don't you?
The whole family is fantastic athletes, and actually Chan Reeves, Dan and Jerry's nephew, is the coach of Kevin Mitchell that just won on the PGA Tour.
Are you serious? We just talked about him. He went to Georgia. Mitchell did. We just talked about him, and he's from Americus.
Well, no, he's not. But Chan Reeves in Atlanta, that athletic club, is his teacher.
Is that what's his daddy's name?
Charles.
Charles. And is that Jerry's son or nephew?
Nephew. It's his nephew.
That is amazing. Of course, Jerry Reeves married Susan Gwynn from Troy and was a great football player here, but is also a very good golfer in his own right, wasn't he?
And Jerry's son, Jake, is a really good player and is now a teaching professional at Fox Den in Knoxville and is one of the top teachers in the state of Tennessee under the PGA system.
Now, will you send Drex up, Griff up there to see him?
Might do that. Wouldn't mind him taking a look at him.
Yeah.
So,
of course, Griff, of course, is a short name for Griffin. Griffin, right. I'm sure Coach Mike Griffin appreciates you naming your son after him.
Yep, Coach is keeping up with him. Yes, he's keeping up with Griff and his progress. And
I know Griff might have more people watching him than anybody around. Wouldn't you think?
I don't know. I mean,
a lot of people love him though, and watched him and watched you. But let me ask you this question: Does it remind you a lot of the kind of time your daddy spent with you? Didn't you play a lot of golf with your daddy?
I did. I surely did. And times were different back then. You know, times were way, way different back then, where my mom and dad, back then you couldn't get off work to go to high school matches and stuff like that. You just only got a couple of weeks a year. My parents actually didn't get to watch me play a lot of golf until I was older.
But your dad was a pretty good golfer in his own right, wasn't he?
He was. You know, he was a single-digit handicapper most of the time I was in high school.
So that was a challenge every day for him, you know, to go up against you.
Than I was. He really hated to lose.
I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Colin, of course, is so well versed in golf. You know, we talk about this a lot. Your knowledge of golf. You know, we lost Sonny Williford, and of course, Sonny was not a great golfer, but he kept up with the rules of golf. And you know, golf has got so many things about it. You don't really actually have to play to be a fan. I'm a huge fan, and I don't play much, but I'd love to have the opportunity to go to Ponte Vedra this weekend. Is this true, where you could just drive up, walk up, and buy a ticket?
Not at Ponte Vedra. You used to could, but not anymore.
Oh, you can't? Really, all right, well, I'm glad you told me that.
It's a pretty hard ticket to get. Most of the tournaments you can, but
they'll have 100,000 people there, won't they?
They will, and you can probably find some tickets online somewhere. Yeah. But I think the days of there at the Players Championship of walking up and getting a ticket are over. I actually went to watch Ben play there a few years back, and you couldn't hardly get a ticket then back in the late 90s.
Of course, have you played that course? Have you played that Island Green before? And of course, we'll watch it this weekend. It's the most famous hole in golf, isn't it?
It is. Years ago, Bobby Cates, myself, Terry Rogers, and Johnny Law got good fortune to getting to play both courses down there one time. We had a great time.
Out of all y'all, who kept the ball on the green?
I can't remember. I hit it a little over left on the walkway, and I can't remember what I made there. But great time.
But when the course is when it's for millions of dollars, it makes that green even shrink smaller, doesn't it?
It does. It's a tough shot.
Yeah. Now, something that you're doing right now, Colin, is a dream of yours. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in the last couple of years now.
Well, just on a volunteer basis for NBC Sports Golf, I've been a spotter, and I've worked 2 or 3 tournaments a year. The last 2 years, I've gone over to the British Open in England and Scotland and worked the British Open, which is just an incredible trip.
Oh, gosh, that'd be fun.
I'm going to Ireland this year to the British Open, and then.
Are you really? When will that be, Colin?
It's at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland in July, and we have a group going over there working for NBC.
Now, is it cold over there in July?
It hadn't been the last 2 years. We've actually only had one cold day each week. The last 2 years, Northern Ireland's a little further north. It'll probably be a little cooler because it's going to be on the beach of Northern Ireland.
Now, will you go by yourself, or do you have some friends that do this?
Well, 3 other spotters that are on the NBC spotter team. We travel together. Yeah. We go together as a group, and we've gotten together and go over there, so we don't travel by ourselves.
Well, let me answer this now. Point blank, did NBC get rid of Johnny Miller, or did he retire?
He retired.
Johnny Miller was one of your favorite people, wasn't
he? Yeah, I really think he got to the point, you know, he's got a huge family with lots of grandkids, and it's a grind, and he's 70 years old, and the last couple of tournaments I worked that he was there, you know, Johnny's always had some trouble with his legs, and he didn't look to me like he was moving around as good as he used to, and he probably was just at the point where the road wore him out, and he was ready to retire.
You know, he retired from golf way prematurely. He didn't even play with the big money, did he?
No, he didn't. No, but he made a lot of money because he won so many times and had a lot of.
But he was like a beach guy, you know, blonde-headed guy, and from California, wasn't he?
From San Francisco, yes.
Yeah, but and of course was one of the best analysts in golf, in my opinion. But now your buddy has joined the broadcast crew now, hasn't he?
Paul Azinger has replaced him, and that's they've had some new guys like Phil Mickelson's former caddy, and they've got a pretty
Bones, yeah. Well, I know this will be a lot of fun. Now, last week, tell the folks what you did.
Well, I was a spotter they assigned me to a player in a caddy group each day to tell the producers what's going on, what clubs they're hitting.
Now, do they tell you, or you can't just look at them and from a long distance and tell them what they shoot and do?
I'm walking there pretty close to them, 30 feet away, and listen to the conversation with the player and the caddy, and I figure out the yards.
That's got to be fun, boy, especially for a guy that loves the game like you do. And you're sort of like a little kid out there in a way, aren't you?
Sort of, yeah. It's fun. It's pretty intense, and it's a lot of miles of walking every day.
Now, 2 weeks ago, you were, or the last week or 2 weeks ago, that you were with the champion.
Last week, friend Molinari won at Donald Palmer. I had him in the last group. I mean, not the last group, but he was the winner, and I had him on the last day.
What kind of fella is he, and what kind of golfer is he?
Just
give me about 2 or 3 minutes.
Doesn't say a whole lot. He's from Italy, has broken English, and nothing really phases him. Nothing really bothers him. He had a lot of great shots. He's not one of the longer hitters out there. He has to play the course different than a Rory McIlroy or a Dustin Johnson because he's a shorter hitter, but he's very, very good. Very good. He's won 3 out of his last 8 PGA Tour events.
Does he remind you of several Ballesteros a little bit?
No, totally different game. Totally different game.
But he's a great guy, and he's the kind of guy that you'd want to root for.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty quiet. You know, he's just does his job. Yeah. He's all business.
Now, so far, have you worked for Bubba, or have you worked for some of the great ones?
Yeah, I've had pretty much spotted. You know, usually they assign us to who they're going to televise the most, so we're always going to have a big name. I've pretty much had all the big names.
Have you had Mickelson before?
Multiple times.
Oh, have you really? What kind of fella is he?
He's a great guy. He's great with the galleries. He's very kind to walk in from a green to the next tee. He always, giving things to the kids, balls or gloves and stuff. He's very, very good. I like him a lot. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Hey, we want a little extra time. Of course, Bubba Watson, what kind of fella is he?
He's a little bit like Griff. He's all over the map sometimes.
Yeah.
But
does it surprise you how the ball explodes off his club?
He hits it a long way. He curves the ball a lot, and he can be in a different mood every day, but he's one of the most talented players out there.
Do the players talk back to each other? Do they carry on the conversation when they're walking from? We watch TV, and they've got a pretty long walk every shot, pretty much. Is that right?
They do. Some of them do, some don't. They're all different from that standpoint.
Did anybody surprise you that they're as nice as they are, or they're rude? How you find most of them to be?
Well, most of them are pretty good guys, but I won't call anybody out. Let's just keep that dark.
Well, all right. So many good foreign golfers. In fact, there are 8 foreign golfers. The first 8 last week were from across the seas.
Yep, that's true. They're really, really good.
Who do you like? Who's some of the guys you really like now? Who's the best players in golf right now?
I think probably the most talented by far. The one that could be as close to a Tiger in his prime is Rory McIlroy.
He is really that good. Now, now, all right, look at Griff and his development. All right, McIlroy wasn't big and strong when he first got on the tour, was he? But he started working out, didn't he?
He has that gift to hit it a long way. He always has. Even when he didn't work out and was very small and not muscular, he still hit it a long way. Right. It's just sort of a gift. Bubba's got that gift.
The long hitters, Bubba and McIlroy, how far do they hit it usually?
they're going to carry their driver 315 to 320 yards in the air.
Are they? What do they do using on their second shot usually?
Those guys can hit 6 and 7 iron over 200 yards, under normal conditions if they really go after it. But a lot of times they're not trying to hit a maximum iron shot. A lot of times they're trying to hit about 80% iron shot.
Who's the best ball striker out there? The guy that hits it fine every time? Rory, and of course, was he? How old is he? He's still a fairly young golfer, isn't he?
He's about 28, I think.
Are you serious? He's still that young? Let me ask this about Griff before I get off of Griff real quick. How far does he hit it? Does he hit it over 250?
Oh, he's hitting it over 300.
Oh gosh, Griff is hitting it over 300 now.
Yes, 295 to 310.
That is amazing. All right, now what is your next tournament?
He plays in the Future Masters preview, not this weekend, but next weekend in Dothan, and then he has 2 high school matches next week.
All right, I might. Can you walk around and watch him, or does it bother him for somebody to watch him?
No, he actually plays better. He had quite a few people following him yesterday.
Is this amazing? I mean, is this sort of snuck up on you? How good he is, or could you see it coming?
Well, he's he's a little bit behind as a junior. I mean, it's taken him a little bit longer to start shooting the scores he's shooting because he's, probably some of the things we were doing to try to help his Tourette's last year set him behind, and we kind of held him out not really held him out, but didn't want him to play a big tournament schedule last year to try to help him get better with his Tourette's first. And I think that's really helped him, and it's starting to break loose here in the last few weeks. He's gotten confident, and he started shooting some scores here in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully he'll continue to follow through with it and do well. I think he will.
The weights have helped him, and they've helped a lot of people on the tour. I bet you never even touched a weight when you were in college, did you?
Actually, we did.
I didn't know that.
We did quite a bit. Coach Griffin was a little ahead of his time, and we did quite a bit of isometrics, weightlifting, and working out back before it was really popular. And I know during the summer I was a short hitter. I didn't have much power, and I tried to help get a little stronger, help myself get stronger by lifting some weights during the summer. But I'm just physically, I'm not anywhere near as strong as Griff. I'm nowhere near. I was nowhere near as strong in high school and college as Griff.
Isn't that amazing? Keegan Bradley was a scrawny or tall, skinny guy. Now he looks like a weightlifter out there, and he's just killing the ball.
Yep.
And, am I right about that? He got big and strong. Is that what?
He's pretty much always been a long hitter.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it'd be fun to sit. I could talk to you for hours. I hope maybe one day you come on our show and bring Griff with you. And we're so proud of him, Colin. And
thanks, Mike.
Hey, I'm like a kid, man. That when I see a local guy do what he's done, it really makes me feel proud.
Well, we appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate how much you love Troy and the community and everything, and appreciate your show.
Thank you so much. And that's Colin McCreary, of course, and we appreciate him with Wells Fargo Advisors right here in Troy. Hope you enjoyed this segment. Of course, we went a little over because we were a little late getting started. Hopefully, thumbs up as we run this thing the whole time. We can run this again today at 1:30. Hope you enjoyed our show. See you bright and early Monday morning for Today in L.A.